Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and get started now. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar on reputation management with Ask Nicely. I'm Connie, and I'm thrilled to introduce our speakers today, Matt Gayton and Reagan Nickel. Matt and Reagan will be guiding you through some powerful reputation management features that you may not fully be utilizing yet. And we'll explore how these features can help you enhance your customer experience and boost your online presence. So we've designed this webinar to be interactive. So we'll be hosting a Q&A session at the end. And please feel free to add your questions to the chat throughout the presentation. And we'll address as many as we can during our dedicated Q&A time. So now let's go ahead and dive into the world of reputation management with Ask Nicely. Matt, over to you.
Thanks so much, Connie. Happy to be here, and thank you all for joining today. You know, you all have very busy schedules, and you're making some time for us. So we're excited to get right started in here. Just to set the stage here a little bit for the agenda, we're going to cover customer experience growth model. What does that mean exactly? You know, Ask Nicely has an opinion on best practice for growing your business, and we're going to go through some of the stages in order to allow you all to do that, especially within the Ask Nicely platform. And that's going to lead into the main reason we're here, which is reputation management. Reputation management with Ask Nicely, and also some really great new powerful Ask Nicely technology that's powered through my presences. That's Reagan's going to take on a little bit later today. We'll do a couple of success stories. And as Connie mentioned, we're also going to have plenty of time for Q&A, chat, raise your hand however you see fit. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. But you know, before we get into that customer growth model, what I love about this slide in particular is that this statistic, about 80% of customers, they collect the feedback, but only 12% say their work impacts overall business performance. You all are in that 12%. By partnering with Ask Nicely, you have the tools and the means in order to really make an impact on your business. The other 80%, what they're doing is they're going out there, they're sending out questionnaires and gathering the feedback, but they're not really using it to drive change with their organization. A lot of times they're just trying to hit an NPS metric or a CSAT metric and kind of go on with their life. But you know, they're not addressing the bad stuff coming in and the not so great stuff that's coming in. And that 12% is really what's using that feedback to really drive organizational change in their business. So going to the customer growth model, we're going to show what this 12% actually does on a day-to-day basis and how they're using the Ask Nicely platform to get to having extraordinarily impactful reputation management. And we'll start at the top here when we're thinking about, you know, really being able to get to the point of operational excellence and having comprehensive customer insights and ultimately proactive reputation management. But our life cycle with our customers always begins at the top where you see collect there. You know, customers deploy a number of different ways to actually start their survey collection experience. Some customers are a bit more proactive with it in the sense of sending an SMS text or an email. Other ones, you know, that's really relevant in dental and healthcare and things of that nature. Other customers will use QR codes and they'll use web surveys that they post within their websites as well. And it's a little bit more of a pull strategy. So customers use push strategies, pull strategies, but they start the process by actually soliciting feedback. They want to hear from those consumers, which is what all you are doing. We then move into respond. The last thing you want to deal with is a branding issue. You don't want to start collecting all this feedback and not doing anything with it. So it's really important that you start using those workflows off the front end to say a detractor's coming in immediately. How do you address that detractor? You're sending that detractor feedback to an office manager. Are you sending it to reception? Are you sending it to a hygienist, a banker? Who's actually receiving that? All of that is automated within the system and really helping you to avoid any additional negative feedback for not addressing the feedback that's coming in. So you've got thousands of surveys out there you've been collecting, you've got your workflows up and coming. Now you're starting to develop this overall map of your business in terms of how are we really performing in certain locations. You might say in New York, you know what, they've got a bang up reception experience every single time. We're getting 9s and 10s out the gate. But down here in this particular area, we're consistently late on check-in times. Seems like the food quality of isn't on par. We're a little bit delayed on the billing. So there's a few different things that you need to address. And that's really what Assess is about, is taking a look at where things are going great, not so great, and bad, and connecting those dots to help the business perform better, which then puts us into the transformational stage. In many senses, transformation is difficult. Transformational change is hard. Change management is difficult. But this is one of the most key elements of the overall model here, because what we're really trying to do here is enabling the people that are responsible to deliver the right level of customer service standards and taking ownership for that. And that's really a transformative phase. We've got a customer here that had noticed that check-in times were extremely delayed at a particular location. The CEO had actually flown out there and seen, oh, we've got a staffing issue. Let's put in some kiosks here. They put in kiosks there. Their NPS went from about 4 or 5 of one of those highly visited locations, and they saw that they were receiving 9s and 10s because how efficient it was. That's transformational change in a very physical sense. You're really changing the way that people are coming into your business. And there's all sorts of examples here. The reality is that everybody's responsible for customer experience, and Transform really creates that DNA within your organization. So all of this leads to, we're blocking and tackling, we're dealing with detractors, we're dealing with people that aren't that happy, but the good stuff, you're getting a ton of great feedback as well. How are you using that to throw fire on the growth engine? We're going to show you how you can reach over to marketing and shake their hand saying, you know what, I got a plan for you to Ask Nicely on how we can actually increase our revenue this year. You're going to reach across the aisle to operations, say, there are some really powerful tools within Ask Nicely that we can use today that's going to help hit our revenue numbers for the year. This is kind of baseline, as you know. Having a positive online presence helps build trust, boost your SEO. It influences purchasing decisions incredibly. We are at a state of the world where people go to Google. It's the first thing they do, and they want to see online, are there good reviews? Are there not so good reviews? Generally speaking, you see a good review, you're going to kind of go directly to that business. You see a bad review, you're not going to go directly to that business. And don't take our word for it. For me, this is kind of the nerd in me coming out. I get the most excited about these hard statistics that you can take to your leaders internally and really start utilizing this. And I can share with you some real world examples here, particularly on a few of these. So positive reviews can reduce customer acquisition costs by as much as 18%. This is self-evident. And again, I'll use the example. I live in a smaller community, 10,000 people, a little bit south of Portland. If I need a new service, a new vendor, I'll go in there, do a quick Google search. If I see 5 stars, 300 reviews, there's no question. I don't need a phone call from them. I don't need to see them at a booth. I don't need a mailer. I don't need to be advertised. That did it for itself. So that the cost of acquisition, customer acquisition for me has gone down quite a bit. On the flip side, if that same company here locally has 1 or 2 stars, I'm not going to spend any time to really do additional due diligence. They're going to have to proactively solicit me. They're going to have to spend marketing dollars in order to get my attention, as they would to get your attention, in order to give their business a chance. This one's super exciting as well. Businesses with positive reviews experience an average increase of customer retention rates of 25%. Retention is an interesting thing. Our customers evaluate retention on a number of different timelines. Some say 18 months, some say 6 months, some say 12 months. It's critically important to understand, how is your company evaluating retention, and what are the things that marketing is doing to really test that retention. What you'll find is that with Ask Nicely, by adding those positive reviews into the retention goals, you're going to put a smile on the CEO's face, because that CEO knows what that retention number, and he's driving the rest of your business in all different divisions to make sure that retention numbers hit. And positive reviews are an incredibly powerful way of getting that done. And finally, Google reviews account for approximately 15.4% of your SEO score. As I said, it's just the way of the world. It's the way that people are doing their research, and it's a pretty powerful number there as well. So we're actually going to show you how you can use these features within the Ask Nicely platform in just one moment. But to kind of break it up a little bit, we're going to do a quick poll. and we'd love to get everybody's responses. I think Connie's should pop up for you, and we'll give it a couple minutes here and then kind of evaluate what some of the folks are saying on the call. Interesting. Okay. I like how it auto populates here. Yeah, good point.
If there are any others, feel free to add them in the chat as well.
Please. Yeah. How we doing, Connie? Pretty good participation, actually.
Oh, yeah. Looks like most people are saying low response rates to review requests.
That seems to be it. It was at 56. It peaked at 56. It dropped to about 50%. That's good to know. Okay. Think we're at a good spot there, Connie?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually not surprising, and one of the reasons that we're really excited about the particular way to manage reputation management with Ask Nicely is through what we're about to show you, and it addresses specifically the highest response we got on that poll, which is low response rates to review requests. So let me show you live. Let me know if you can still see my screen. Connie, can you still see that? Okay, great. So as you all know, this is now in our live. Let me get rid of this poll here now. This is in a live demo environment, and what we want to show you is how this works and hopefully how this is going to increase the amount of reviews that you get. This is a post-sale template, right? And we're going to say we got a 10 here. That's our metric. Now we're going to do a topic. We'll say high quality. We'll move on. We got the open text response. So I'll say, love the way the shirt fits on me, keeps me cool all day. Sorry for the typos. We're going to send that. Okay. So this is the free form text. You're hitting a promoter with some really positive things to say. Thanks again. We take all your feedback to heart as we look to improve our service to you. Here's the magic. In traditional review requests processes, you're forcing the consumer to go back and copy the thing that they just said or rewrite it somewhere else. All they need to do is hit copy testimonial. In less than 3 seconds, automatically where you want to direct them is going to pop up for them. They simply paste their review, they hit post, boom, they go back to it. That's the magic. It's a psychological difference, and it's a key difference. Our customers that are using this every day are seeing tremendous spikes, 20%, some even have 50% increase in the online Google reviews that they're seeing, which they never had seen before because the process is just too clunky. And the way you get that set up for you all today is straight in your survey itself. You look here at the bottom question here, you add in a question, you can create logic, whether it's default, passive, or detractor. Normally you do it on promoter, but if you want to send some sort of link to a passive to gather additional feedback or a detractor, you can do that too. You can customize the message that you put in there. Testimony has been copied. It'll be taken to the reviews in 3 seconds. And you can either do a custom field or direct link. So if you have something that's static, it never needs to change, you're always sending them to the same review site, boom, you got it. But a lot of our customers have custom fields. They've got 50, 100 locations. They want that Google review link to post in the Silverton, Oregon location. They want to post it in the New York City location. So it's completely customizable. You can have your reviews going all over your business. You could splash the internet with the positivity coming through with Ask Nicely. So that's a really powerful tool. We're always there to help you set it up. CSMs, customer support, happy to do it. And we'll be sending out some short videos on how you can do that afterwards. So that's one key element of this. Second key element, if we were to look here, we just covered the review request demo, testimonial widgets demo. I love this one. This gets customers so excited too. What you're looking at right here are those positive reviews coming in through the Ask Nicely system and then automatically getting posted on our customers' websites. These are taken directly from our customer websites. These are live feeds. While these are screenshots here, if you go to these URLs, let's take the 4 in the red down below. Those pop up for 5 seconds, then another 5 pop up. For 10 seconds, then another 5 pop up. So it's organic, it's live. Every time you're getting the feedback from your customers, it's getting pasted directly to your website. Marketers love this stuff. Makes their job so much easier. And this is how we do that. If we look over here at Ask Nicely responses, got some good ones, perhaps some not so good ones. It's as simple as finding the one that you want to have published, hitting that little publish love button. Immediately, it'll send that person a comment to them asking, hey, do you care if this is posted to our website? We love what you just said. They click a link, you get the approval, it automatically communicates to your website to get their testimonial, which had amazing things to say right up there at the top, directly on the website. This can all be automated. It's extraordinarily powerful. And, it's just another method of getting your really positive sentiment out on the internet, on the interwebs, if you will. So yeah, so those are two really powerful ones that are directly within Ask Nicely. And we're going to take one more quick poll here, and then we're going to hand it off to Reagan, who's going to cover some super exciting new technology from Ask Nicely as well. Thanks for that, Connie. Yeah, coming in. It's a good question. Pretty strong response on that first reason there, huh, Connie?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like most of you didn't know that these features existed. Right.
Yeah. And I think every one of those are reasons that definitely ways that we're here to help, right? We'll, as I said before, we'll send some how-to videos in case you didn't catch in real time, and we're happy to walk you through those. So with that, I think Reagan, why don't you kind of talk us through on maybe your initial feedback on the poll numbers coming in, and then we can go into some of this newer tech that we have rolling out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Well, first of all, the poll numbers are a bit damning for me. I'm the director of customer success here at Ask Nicely, and my job is really to ensure that our customers know what functionality and what features we offer, and more importantly, is how to enable it. So, point taken. And we'll take that back, and we'll be sure to make sure that each of you have the tools that you need to enable the functionality that Matt just talked about. Because the truth is, um, the reason we're all in the business of customer experience is that it has a major impact on your business. And if we're not doing everything we can to amplify our positive experiences to draw in new customers or extend that lifetime value, we're really missing the return on value of something like Ask Nicely. And that's why I'm excited here today to be able to present some new functionality and new offerings uh, via new technology that we offer here at Ask Nicely, powered by a tool called My Presences. I'm going to share my screen with you because as CX managers, and perhaps some of us are in operations or even marketing, our job is to listen to customers. And I would venture to say that that's probably the reason that most of us started using something like Ask Nicely, was to begin collecting those survey responses. Matt showed a really cool flywheel that shows collection as the first and foremost thing we should be thinking about. Whether you're asking your customers for feedback or not, they have feedback for you. It's just a question of where that feedback is going. And what My Presences does, and our new technology, again, powered by My Presences, is it allows you to visualize the feedback that's going online and not necessarily just through your surveys. What My Presences also does is going to allow us to, as most of us would hope, that when people have good feedback, we hope it's online, we hope it's public, and that everyone gets to see it. And we hope that the negative feedback or constructive feedback is happening internally so that we can action it. We know that that's not always the case either. So what My Presence is going to allow us to do is not only close that entire flywheel loop of driving more business and growth, but it's actually going to help us collect more feedback. And it's going to help us drive more marketing assets. And this thing really compounds on itself. So as we zoom back out of what we were just seeing, and we were collecting surveys, we were driving the online reviews, what you're looking at now is a dashboard of all of these reviews. I'm demoing from an account. This is a customer of ours. It's called Bricktown Brewery. And Bricktown Brewery has restaurants and bars all over the United States. And what they're really interested in is, how do our different locations compare? How does the customer experience rank? How do we rank against our competitors? And that's exactly what this technology and this functionality does for them. So I'm demoing for Woodland Hills here, but just from my straight dashboard, I'm able to monitor how we're doing at each one of these channels. One of my favorite ones is reputation. Woodland Hills can instantly see how they rank on each of these different channels. One of my favorite parts, though, is also as we go to, let's go to our presence, we can see how we rank against our competitors. How many of you would hope to see, like, hey, we're getting some awesome Ask Nicely 10s and NPS scores are going up. How does that feel for somebody in our competing space? Or perhaps there's a peer of yours that you say, hey, we'd love to benchmark off of this particular peer. That's exactly what My Presence allows you to do, but says from a purely listings and reputation standpoint, how are they doing? All of this information is being scraped online and pulled together in these visualizations to help you understand exactly how you're stacking up against other bars or your closest peers. Everything from how many total listings you have, your average review cycle. If I head over to let's go to our timeline. Actually, I'm going to skip to reputation, and we're going to go to our reviews. The primary reviews page allows you to see overall, how are we doing over time? The analysis is going to allow us to see what has changed. As you guys compare some of the interfaces you see here to your Ask Nicely environment, you're going to see that things are very, very similar in terms of comparing how does NPS growth correlate to our review growth. And as our reviews go up, what we really hope for and want to do is to be able to capitalize that in the name of maybe more social media posts. So what My Presence is going to do is going to take this review that came in online. Again, reminder, this review is a real review on Google. They may or may not have responded to the survey that we sent them as well, but we can see that they did provide a review here. I can instantly have a marketing asset that we can use and to amplify this positive review. But as Matt talked about, is that the only way that you make a bad experience worse is by not responding to it. And so what we also give our customers the capability is to instantly get an AI generated, an instant response. Thank you, Ray. We're thrilled to hear that you enjoyed the food, had a great experience with our team. We look forward to welcoming you back soon. And I can choose to reply. I can choose to do something custom. I can choose to change that. But in a few clicks here, I'm able to instantly respond to all of our reviews, good or bad, that happened through today's feed. My Presences also allows you to locate all of your listings. Where do we exist? Which of your listings need help? What a lot of people don't even realize is that my listing might not be getting the attention it deserves because it's unverified. And my Presences will instantly collect and aggregate that to show you what needs to be claimed, what has issues, what has changes, where have we seen changes over time, and which locations and our listings are changing. We also get to see media. So where do people post photos about us? If you're perhaps a specialized medicine clinic, you're offering facials or perhaps dentistry, these are opportunities for your patients or your customers to be presenting and posting for your business. But you can instantly use in a post and say, hey, this guy posted a public photo of his meal, and I want to post it somewhere. from a click, we can instantly share and again, amplify these positive reviews. Finally, as Matt said, Google is still king. So what our Google business view allows us to instantly see is how are we ranking, what's changing over time, and more importantly, how do we compare to our competitors? So you can imagine getting all of this data in a single click, knowing, in this case, a brewery or restaurant, knowing how does this correlate to our food orders? What's the true ROI of a positive experience? And now you're able to actually quantify that with dollars and cents. But now this is a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of graphs here. There's a lot of charts here. We also provide the ability to run a report. And if I wanted to run a report perhaps on just our reviews over the last month or so, and I run that report, I now have a downloadable PDF that allows you to see all of these things based off of what perhaps your C-suite might be asking for. I know many of us have to present these types of reports on a monthly basis. Being able to automate that or make that very quickly with really appealing graphs and charts has been a game changer for some of our most mature customers that are really taking the full customer experience flywheel to effect. I'm going to pause. I've gone through a bit of this. I think there's so much here that it would really take us so much time to uncover each one of these things. But the thing I want to stress the most is that this is that last part that really completes this overall customer experience journey. As we go everything from listening to driving responses to then using that feedback to amplify positive growth and new revenue, increased lifetime value of our clients. And then, as I said before, being able to generate more feedback. This is another area that our customers are talking to us, and it's important that we begin to respond. And Ask Nicely and my presences will report on exactly how long it takes you to respond to everything. And that in of itself is another one of those metrics that helps us understand how do we deliver customer experience. I'm happy to take questions on this. I know that there might be other sections of Connie, so if you want to say, hey, save the questions for last, that's fine too. But I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to see what this would look like for your business. So be sure to follow up with us. We're happy to demonstrate this and show you what this would look like for your business. Oh, I'm still sharing. I think I'm going to jump into some success stories of some customers that have found a lot of success with this as well. Apologies.
Not to worry.
I would blame the Wi-Fi, but let's be honest, it's the presenter. So, all right, let's get into some success stories then. Like Reagan, talk is cheap. Who's doing it? Who's using it?
We've definitely gotten a ton more Google reviews thanks to Ask Nicely. I mean, because we just weren't getting any. It wasn't something we were promoting, and Ask Nicely makes it so easy to request reviews and only from 5 stars, which is great. I'm going to try to pull up our UR comp. So yeah, we have 153 Google reviews now. Almost all of them are 5-star. And I'd say probably before we had Ask Nicely, maybe it was 5 or 10 or something. So that's definitely been a great growth story with us.
Since we spoke sort of 3-4 weeks ago, our Trustpilot score has gone from 3.9 and it's actually gone to 4.4, and it's rising on a daily basis, and it's been a great success.
With Ask Nicely in place, we no longer have to spend time searching for positive reviews online and asking users for permission to post them. Ask Nicely automates the entire process for us. Right now, we are saving more than 1 hour a day. I think having this feedback and be able to post it immediately has been game changing for the marketing team. We also managed to increase the number of interviews with our happy and let's say not so happy users by 200%. Today it's super easy to identify who can help us improve our product and get them on a quick call in a minute after they have reviewed us.
Love happy customers.
We've definitely gotten a ton more.
It's better the second time.
Well, let's see. If you have any questions, feel free to add them in the chat. But I did see a question come through asking about if these features come at an additional cost.
It's a great question. One of the benefits of attending a webinar that is manned by a couple customer success people is that we tend to be terrible salespeople. What we're trying to demonstrate today is when I look at the benefit of listening to somebody like Matt or myself is that we get to see truly over 1,000 different customers use Ask Nicely, and we're all trying to solve the same problem. What we're doing is we're borrowing from some of their best practices and demonstrating that to you today to say, here's what some of the top companies are doing. A lot of the functionality that Matt demonstrated may or may not already be included in your current package. So you'll definitely want to reach out to us and say, hey, where did you find that? How would I know if that's included? We can certainly share that with you. Some of those features are included in add-ons. But of course, because you attended today's webinar, make sure you mention my name. We can get you a good deal. The My Presence is technology, the closing the loop and really amplifying your online reputation. Everything that I explained is typically priced on a location basis. But again, if there's some custom quoting that we need to do, we're happy to do that for you and ensure that this is of value to you before you ever decide, hey, is this something that I want to pay for? Let's make sure that it's valuable to you. But it would come at a upgraded cost for your current package if that's something that's not currently included.
Thanks, Reagan. Another question. What are the key benefits of using Ask Nicely for reputation management compared to other platforms?
It's a good one.
You know, what we see is a lot of different platforms don't care how the feedback looks. As we kind of hope, and what Google will say is that they want our reviews to be really authentic, and we do too. Those authentic reviews happen in real time, and they happen every day. What Ask Nicely allows you to do is that in your natural motion of collecting and responding to feedback is to be able to pull out the experiences that you know genuinely represent your brand and your organization, and then go put that in the pathway of other customers that you hope to draw in and attract their attention. Ask Nicely is already doing that in their feedback loop. What other companies, other technologies are going to do is they're going to say, we also want to talk to your customer. We want to send them a reviewer link. We also want to send them a review link. And the quickest way to ruin a customer experience is by trying to get into their experience too much. And so by leveraging and capitalizing on the experience that you already have them in front of you, and then to drive that online and drive that to bring in new customers, makes this a really effective and efficient solution.
Awesome. Sorry about that, everybody. I just realized that I should be asking you to ask your questions in the Q&A section at the bottom, not the chat, the Q&A. There's a little icon at the bottom right. But we've got another question that came through here. Let's see. Yeah, you did actually answer the question about My Presences. Someone asked if there's a cost to enable it. And then who should we contact to get set up with these features? What do they do if they don't have a dedicated customer success manager?
That's a great question too. They can reach out to support@asknicely.com. Our support team is trained with all of the technical capabilities to help enable something like this, but also to ensure that you are escalated to somebody like Matt or somebody else on the team that it can help understand if this is part of your service package or not. So while you may not have an assigned CSM, you certainly do have somebody here at Ask Nicely who is assigned to oversee your account. And so be sure to reach out, and we'll make sure we give you that one-on-one attention and see if this is a good fit for you or not.
And then thanks for that. How long does it take to set up either of these feature sets?
Yeah, this one, I'm happy to take this one, Reagan. Really, and the beauty of the ones that are baked into the survey, 5 minutes. 5 minutes on getting the Google reviews posted on those, or not just Google reviews, but really any positive sentiment that can be done in a matter of seconds. So that's why we just strongly encourage you to use it. There's virtually no loss there to do that. The testimonials is about just as simple. What we find typically is that you do need to involve marketing, and marketing will need to look at it, make sure that the layout is right on the website. It could take a little bit more time, but the functionality again is just like that. It's just a matter of making sure marketing is okay with it, knowing where those testimonials are going to land.
Great, thank you. And what specific metrics should businesses be tracking to measure the effectiveness of their reputation management strategy?
Matt, do you want me to take that?
Sure, yeah.
The metric that I think is king is response rate.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, is that if you're not gaining insights, if you're not learning what your customers are experiencing, whether that be online, whether that be via surveys, everything else is moot. And so it's about how do we learn more and more information about our customers, how they're experiencing, and treating each experience as a unique and individual experience with our responses and our ability to follow up and close the loop. Our ability to notify internal stakeholders when they need to be actioned, our ability to notify the customer when perhaps there's something that needs to be rectified or to be owned. All of that drives back to a single response. And so the name of the game with Ask Nicely is going to be, how do we drive more responses? And those responses, more responses will drive increased reviews online. One of the famous quotes a wise person I heard once say is you don't need more reviews, you need more experiences for people to review. And I hope that if there's anything you take away, is that it's not that we're trying to drive more reviews, it's that we want to deliver better experiences, and the reviews are an outcome of that.
Yeah. Response rate is king, that's for sure, Reagan.
And then we also have a question asking, how do I make sure that I'm receiving updates about features like these or others I may not be using? And I think
that's another stab of my team. So first of all, it's a fair feedback, and Ask Nicely, we love our feedback. So if you're feeling like I'm unaware of this thing, first of all, Ask Nicely produces new technology, new releases, improvements every 2 to 3 weeks. We're constantly coming out with new things. One of the things that we've tried to spare you on is constant updates and emails and spamming and bombarding your inbox with, hey, we've improved this. By the way, the speed has increased. We hope that just generally the experience is notably better. That said, for key and core announcements, we try to do more of these webinars. You should be involved on a newsletter. If you feel like you're not getting our newsletters or customer or major product updates, please reach out to support@asknicely.com and request to be included on that newsletter.
yes, thanks. Any other questions? These are all great questions. Okay, another question here. I work in technology consulting and often operate across diverse ecosystems, each with unique challenges. Where have you found the most success in embedding and distributing surveys or soliciting feedback within standard workflows, especially with managers who already experience survey fatigue?
I might not be completely understanding the question correctly, because I latched onto the embedding surveys and then I went on to workflows. Connie, do you want to help kind of interpret what you believe that question is getting at?
Yes, let's see. I think that the question is asking, yeah, because there's so many. Let's see.
I can take a quick stab at it. When I look at it, guys, what I'm reading through there is that the problem there is survey fatigue, right? And a lot of different ways to get the feedback itself. We're trying to funnel feedback where people live. And I think one of the things that this question touches on is some feedback we get from customers is, it's another sort of way of getting that feedback. And we really didn't touch on it today, but things like an MS Teams integration, or actually funneling some of the feedback within the workflows that this person brought up is being sent directly to where those people work. So it's less fatigue in terms of jumping from different systems, because we have integrations that can funnel the feedback to where they're sitting every single day. But as far as the fatigue of answering those, I think it's a matter of just establishing the right cadence, and really defining, what is the feedback? How are the service standards defined in terms of the feedback that's getting back to the people, and which of those surveys is most relevant. That's probably the best way to battle that. A lot of times there's disagreement internally with customers because they haven't set service standards. And what they don't want is negative feedback going towards a frontline employee that doesn't have any control over it. So there does have to be some thought in terms of the type of questions you're asking so that when your team gets that feedback, they can action it, or else it can have the opposite effect. And people will score sometimes. I can't do anything about price. I love my job. I feel my customers are happy, but I constantly get bad scores on price. And sometimes we have to make tweaks to the system in order to make sure that feedback's relevant.
Not to beat the dead horse though, too, is Cody, I found your question. Now I've read it. I agree with what Matt has said. I also think it's important as we talk about, we have lots of customers that want to embed surveys, and we certainly offer that capability. All right, you can put a survey online and you're saying, I've taken this online, now you're emailing me, now you've texted me. That survey fatigue is real. I get that. One of the things that is lost in a lot of these anonymous surveys is the individual that had the experience. And if you know who the individual is who had the experience, you also know a host of metadata that goes along with that. You know what they purchased, or perhaps you know what date they came into the store. You know, there's a lot of other enriched data that comes with that allows you to do the most important part of customer experience, which is to follow up and make it right. Anonymous surveys are the ones that you see embedded online that I'm quickly taking, and that's great. It's a pulse. It's a data point. But as I commonly say around the office here is that a thermometer doesn't change the weather. And so if the most important thing to you is just simply measuring that, a measurement or a score, those embedded online surveys are a great way to do that. But if what's most important to you is to understand, improve, and deliver on the customer experience, then knowing who that individual is and being able to deliver a unique survey to them one-on-one is probably the recommended path.
Thanks for that. I feel like if there aren't any other questions, again, if you do want to learn more about these features or get set up, please do reach out to your customer success manager or support at AskNicely.com, and we'll make sure that you do get set up, and we will be sending out resources after this so that you can also share this out with your team. And again, we're here to help. We will be hosting more of these webinars, and keep your eye out. We have so many amazing features that we've recently launched and think will make such an impact on your business. So thanks again for joining us. And
People, I was just gonna say, be sure to follow us or find us on LinkedIn as well. We're
yeah,
constantly,
Mhm.
we're commonly talking about the things that I think we're all dealing with. And I think that's cool about Ask Nicely is that it's a customer experience company trying to do customer experience. So it's kind of meta. So if you're wondering, how do we do it? How does Ask Nicely use Ask Nicely? Feel free to message me on LinkedIn and let's connect.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.